names, photographs, and persons depicted on Fugitive Watch are presumed to be innocent unless proven guilty in a court of law.
Hey, welcome back. It's Fugitive Watch, July 15th, 2025. We're back after, what, a 3-week break, I think, right, guys?
Yeah, a little bit of a break.
Yeah.
We're all kind of busy.
Was it
Scott, your clock, I want to point out Scott's clock is wrong in the back. It's
No,
not
I'm
12
stuck
o'clock.
in time.
He's stuck in time. Okay.
I'm stuck in time.
And Steve, what's going on in San Jose?
Not much. It's been pretty quiet. Everybody's
All right.
on the lookout, waiting for you-know-who to show up.
Yeah.
All right.
You know what? I went to San Jose today, and Tony and I were looking for a place to catch a quick bite before we left. We went to, it used to be the Pasta Pomodoro up there on San Felipe. Nope, that place is closed. They're selling it. We went to this other place, and they were getting ready to close, so we left. So then we go, well, let's go to Larry's Country Inn, right? Nah, we get there, they're closed. So then we shoot over to the old Mexico Lindo. We thought we'd go over there. I didn't know it's gone. So then we shot over across the street to the Rock and Crab place, and we said, okay, forget it. We'll just go here. They gotta have something we can eat. I go up there. No, they don't open till 4. And I looked at Tony. I'm like, I think I figured this out. I know what's going on. They don't have any workers, so they're open.
Well, no, they're targeting the workers in California, but not the ones in Kansas.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, go on Yelp, and you can see all the restaurants that say closed indefinitely, temporarily closed. All kinds of restaurants on Yelp are closed.
I couldn't believe it. I'm going. All these restaurants, they are open for a couple hours in the morning, and then they say come back at night. It's like you don't know if they're going to be open. I'm like, well, this is just crazy.
Yeah,
there's no workers.
All right, let's get going. So we are 3 former retired police officers. We run Scott and Steve run fugitive.com, and they've been doing it since 1992. We're going to look at some videos here that they picked out. We get our pure reactions of what's going on there. And I am Mark Henderson, private investigator, retired CHP. I'm sorry, I don't have our names up here today, guys. And I run the website Stolen 911. But we're going to go right on to our first story and see if I can find it here.
Hang on, I'm trying to let Frank know what we're doing here.
I'll let Frank know, and I'll get back because I've lost everything now. I don't know what happened, but let's see what just happened here.
Did we just get blown out?
No, I lost the feed on the share screen. That's all. And okay, when you guys ready? Hi, everyone. We're still here. All right, let's go watch this one here real quick. All right, so we'll start here again. Okay, so we're going to go over some stories. This is our raw reaction. I think Steve's the only one that actually seen this. I do know a little bit about this first story. When I first saw it, I thought they saved the twist to the end, and right away I'm like, oh, that's suspicious. But on this one, I think they actually covered the twist from the beginning. UC Berkeley professor murdered in Greece. This news report covers the murder of Shemek Zawinski, a 43-year-old UC Berkeley associate professor who was shot and killed by a masked gunman in Greece on July 4th. Friends suggest the motive might be linked to a contentious custody battle with his ex-wife, with a court hearing having ruled in his favor on the day he was shot. From what I remember, the wife lived in Greece, and they did it all maybe over there. I'm not sure.
So the wife lived. Okay, I didn't.
That's the story I heard. Okay, his family and friends are seeking justice for the beloved professor. So let's go ahead and let's watch this and see what's going on here.
The murder of a UC Berkeley professor in Greece has sparked questions and demands for justice coming from his friends and family. Police reports say the professor was shot to death by a masked man. NBC Bears' Valina Jones spoke with people who knew that beloved professor, who say his killing just doesn't add up.
Friends, family, colleagues, and students are mourning the death of 43-year-old UC Berkeley associate professor Shemek Zawinski, affectionately known as PJ.
He's an incredibly good person, and he didn't deserve this, and this is very, very senseless.
Why do I think this is getting up on 48 hours in about what, 6 months, Steve? 5 months?
Yeah.
What do you think?
Hey, you know what? I'm going to be in Athens in September. If I go over there, I can shoot some B-roll, and then I can write it all off, right?
You could, and you might get targeted by these guys.
Oh, yeah, maybe I don't want to piss
Our
these
hearts
guys
are broken.
Friend Chimtai Mungo says she's still processing the shock after getting a call that PJ had been shot and killed on July 4th. Mungo says Greek police report he was on his way to pick up his kids at his ex-wife's home when he was shot at least 5 times by a masked gunman near Athens.
He's very friendly, smart. He has no conflict.
Okay, who's the ex-wife's boyfriends, family? What's going on, Steve? What do you think?
You know, I've been involved in a few of these, not personally, but as a
Not personally.
not personally, but as a police. I mean, personally as a police officer, responding to calls of homicides or shootings that were as a result of child custody battles. We had a case when I was with the sheriff's office, I believe it was in Saratoga, where the disgruntled husband or father walked into the wife's attorney's office and shot and killed the wife's attorney. You know?
So on this case, Steve, I'm kind of curious. So it says he works at Berkeley, but he was in Athens and he was picking up his kids. So there must be some kind of a custody battle
there is.
issue.
Yeah. From what I understand, I think they were married here in the United States and had the children here, and then they split, and she went back to Greece, took the kids with her, and then he was having a custody battle with her. And in this particular situation,
Can't do that.
In this particular incident, he was going to take the children on vacation. I don't think he was taking the children away. I think he was just taking the children on vacation to his home country of Poland, probably to meet, his family.
All right, let's go ahead and watch the rest of the video here, because Eastside Tony's here and he doesn't want to hear us yap. He wants to watch the video.
All right,
Okay.
Tony.
All right.
No. I gotta get it back here. I lost it. All right, here we go.
Conflict in his life. The only thing that he had struggled with over the last few years was the custody battle. And
Mungo explains PJ's custody battle had turned contentious. She says he had plans to take his 2 children to Poland for the summer and had a court hearing the day he was shot. Mungo says that day the court ruled in his favor on an unknown matter. Tonight, she's remembering her friend and travel partner as funny and kind.
Loved to have a good time. He loved his children. They were the most important people in his life.
The father was a tenured associate professor of marketing at UC Berkeley's Haas School of Business. Professor Jolt Katona helped hire him 13 years ago and was in the middle of co-teaching a class with PJ this summer.
But I observed him teach and just so passionate about it. And it makes his students passionate.
Tonight, tributes to the late professor are pouring in online from students and faculty.
It's not often that you meet people who they're just inherently good, and he was one of those.
In a statement, the victim's brother said his family is looking for justice. Writing, Shamek loves his children and fought for them until the end. This death and the circumstances surrounding it are impossible for us to accept. A crowd fundraising page has been set up to help with legal expenses and transporting PJ's body back to Poland.
Justice is finding who is responsible and holding them accountable.
In Berkeley, Valina Jones, NBC Bay Area News.
The murder of a UC Berkeley professor.
That's there's so many twists and turns that are probably going to show up there. I mean, maybe she thought that he wasn't taking them on vacation. Maybe she thought he was going to flee back to the United States because, obviously we don't know the inner workings of this. I don't know if they agreed that she could take him there or they went back there on vacation and she wouldn't let him take the kid. Who knows? I mean, I remember I worked as an airport cop for a couple years. And I'll tell you what, I used to see some nasty stuff in that airport. I literally would see parents tug-of-warring with their kids. One's got the one arm, the other's got the other arm, and they're just pulling that kid. And it was so just heartbreaking to see that happen. And the fights break out because one of the parents found out that one of them was trying to split, you know. So I mean, it'd be interesting to see what ends up coming out of all that. I mean, maybe he was just going to Poland for vacation, or maybe he was going to go to Poland and stay there, or whatever he was going to do.
Well, I mean, whatever. I mean, he just won. I mean, it's so we don't know. It sounds like he was just going to take his vacation. And was this planned just out of anger because someone lost, or is it a random killing? If it's random, man, it sure is coincidental.
Well,
right?
from what I understand, she lost the rule. The ruling was in his favor that they had in court that day in Greece. And,
so on the law enforcement side, what are they doing right now? What are the police in Greece looking at?
Well, the local police are obviously investigating, and I'm not sure if the FBI. There was no mention of the FBI being involved, but I'm sure if he's
they're a little busy. They're a little busy right
citizen,
now doing cover-ups and stuff. They don't got time for that.
Yeah.
Anyway, so with the rounding up, they're going to be digging into the lady's background, right?
Yeah.
And her family, associates, maybe boyfriends. I'm just thinking like a cop, right? I mean, this is all that, you know, this is going to be interesting to see how this plays out. And then I worry about the kids. Who are the kids with right now? Are they with the people that planned this murder? I mean, let's just say it was her, and I'm just speculating.
Thinking as a cop, I mean, your first thought is, okay, it don't look good. Okay. And then you think, okay, well, you're looking for motive, the intent, ability, and you're like, okay, she kind of fits all that, but it may not have had anything to do with her. It could have been, I'm just throwing this out there, it could have been a family member, a brother or a father who said, you know what? You ain't taking my grandkids. You're not taking my niece and nephew, whatever the case is. Yeah. And she may have absolutely no idea that they were doing that. So, you know, we're just speculating, but these are the things as you're investigating something like this, these are all the different angles you got to look at, and you got to start going down those and knocking those trails out and pulling her phone records and everything else. And I'm sure that they're perfectly capable of doing that, you know, in where the investigation is. But
yeah, and for any parents that are thinking about running away with your kids to another country, you know, most nations in the world are signatories to an international agreement where they will recognize rulings by courts and return children to another country if the court rules in that parent's favor. I mean, I don't know if you remember the Elian Gonzalez case in Florida, where the father in Cuba won in court, and it was
I remember that. You know why I remember that? Because Mr. police-friendly Sean Hannity called those cops jackbooted thugs that took Elian out of the closet.
Yeah,
exactly. There was a Democrat in office, and they switch, right, depending on what side of the political parties in power that time. You're with the cop against the cops, depending on who's in charge, right? That's how the hypocrites operate.
They were just enforcing the court's order.
Yes.
Yeah, but you know what? I've been in that situation where I pulled up, and I remember when I was a supervisor, and my guys called me over, and we have two sets of court orders. We got one set of court order that says that this person has total custody and you're supposed to hand him over. And then we have another court order that says, no, he has custody. And you're like going, you have two sets of court order, and these aren't different countries. This was from one in a different state. She filed, and one in particular, I remember, she filed, it said she got custody of the kid, and she shows up, tells my officers, well, hey, here's the court order. I want to go, you go with me, go get the kids. They get over there. Well, dad did his homework. Dad had a court order saying something completely different. So now we're stuck in this situation. And I'm like, well, I guess the court order here wins over the court order you have. The kids are in bed asleep. They got school in the morning. You guys are you can't just go file in a different state and think that, but I was surprised that she got the court order, but we took it upon ourselves. Then we wrote up a report, and forwarded it to both courts so that they knew that, we weren't going to enforce. We can't enforce them both.
They get very emotional too. We had one of our sheriff's deputies that I knew very well was shot at the metal detector at the family court there in downtown San Jose by a disgruntled father who was losing custody.
Yeah. I just did a PI case on a child custody. I've done several now. I'm doing a lot of child custody cases, and they are contentious. And you got to be worried about a lot of stuff. The other thing too about this case, so real quick, again, if you just joined us, we're talking about the Berkeley professor from Poland that was killed in Greece when he was there on a custody issue with his kids. He won in court that day, and he was going to take his kids to Poland, I guess, for a vacation, and he was shot that day right after the hearing or something. So it's a lot of suspicion. But not only they're going to cover it in Greece, obviously, but they're going to cover it here because of the Berkeley community is going to want to know what's going on. And then the family in Poland is going to want to know what. So you have, besides this crime happening in Greece, you have two countries, the United States and Poland, who are also going to be focusing on what's going on what's going on in this case. So now Greece has media attention coming from two other countries about this murder of this person here. Hey, I just real quick, guys, we got Tony. Good to see you, Tony. And then Greg, welcome back, Greg. And congrats, Greg. On your, it's the Greg I'm thinking about, the new member of the military here. From what Greg says, from what I understand, DV calls result in the most injuries to officers. Am I wrong, Steve?
Yeah, they're very, very dangerous. The Christmas Eve, I hated working Christmas Eve because emotions are so high, and you wind up with the domestic violence calls on Christmas Eve. Or
can I remind you guys, both being East Side cops, San Jose, the days the Raiders lost.
The football games. Yeah, the football games also.
The Raiders fans, when they lose, that's when the DV calls went up, right, Scott?
Oh, well, every time. If they weren't winning, I'm not going to say who. I knew somebody who their husband was extremely passionate about that. And if they weren't winning by halftime, she said she left to go visit friends. She did not want to be at home.
Yeah. And I'm not, we're not making, I mean, this is just facts. If you talk to any cop that worked in the 80s, that was a thing.
Yeah. But the human factor in this is just, when you think about it, is how these poor kids are going to be just lost their father, and now they're going to be put through this. This is going to be something they are going to be in. Hopefully they get the help they need, because this is going to carry over for a really long time. Yeah, I mean, if in fact their mom did have something to do with it, which I have no idea. I'm not saying she did, or somebody else, it's terrible.
In child custody cases, Mark, I mean, it crosses all layers of society. I've gone to domestic violence or child custody calls involving police officers, doctors. It's not just the poor people. It involves all of society.
And
I also want to welcome Frank.
Yeah,
Frank, go ahead. You welcome.
Hey, welcome, Frank. Thanks for jumping on. He was talking about Oakland Raiders or LA Raiders. Well, back then they were Oakland Raiders, and then they were LA Raiders, and then they're a fickle football team. So who knows? But anyway, I mean, my condolences to the family and the friends of the people that are going through that. I mean, you see your friend takes off on vacation, doesn't come back, and it's so hard when you can't get the answers, right away.
Okay, we're going to talk about a bunch of different stories today. Stay tuned. We're going to go into some ICE stuff on a law enforcement perspective. We also got some fugitive stuff. So bear with us. We're going to go with some stories here. We appreciate everyone joining. And if you have any comments, please join in either on Facebook or YouTube. Join in on the conversation. Let us know where you're from if you come on there. All right, let me get to this next one here. We have federal judge orders halt to indiscriminate ICE stops and arrests. Now, this is a California thing. Just going to look at it from a law enforcement side, just real quick. because you're talking about probable cause and things like that. A federal judge has ordered the Trump administration to stop indiscriminate stops and arrests by federal agents, particularly those based on race or workplace, and to ensure attorney access for detainees. And then the lawsuit follows. The ruling follows lawsuits by civil rights groups arguing that agents cannot stop individuals based solely on perceived race. Let's watch the story. A lot of emotions here. Okay, let's go. Let's move on.
And I have my opinion.
A Los Angeles federal judge has ordered the Trump administration to halt indiscriminate stops and arrests, specifically raids that target people based on the color of their skin or where they work.
The order also bars the federal government from restricting attorney access to the detainees.
So what does it all mean and what happens next?
John Panolio joins us live from the KTLA News Center with more on the judge's ruling and its impact. John?
Shira, in court, this ruling came late this evening. The federal judge in this case granted 2 temporary restraining orders, directing federal agents to stop racially profiling suspected undocumented immigrants and to ensure that those who have been arrested have meaningful access to attorneys. The judge is essentially calling the government's conduct not only troubling, but possibly unlawful.
After weeks of aggressive immigration enforcement, tonight, a federal judge is stepping in. In a strongly worded ruling, U.S. District Judge Mame Frimpong temporarily barred federal agents from targeting immigrants without clear cause and demanded they stop denying legal access to those in custody. The decision follows a lawsuit from a coalition of civil rights groups, including the ACLU of Southern California.
So there are 2 restraining orders that we sought and which she granted. One is to provide fulsome access for lawyers to get to arrested people that are being held in a basement in downtown after they get picked up in these raids. So those people have to get, attorneys have to be able to access them. The judge ruled that ICE and Border Patrol and these immigration agents cannot stop people solely based on their perceived race or the language that they speak, what kind of work they do, or the location where they're at. They have to have some other information that provides them reasonable suspicion that they're in the country unlawfully.
So, hey, the other day, Carmen was out front. Carmen's Peruvian, speaks Spanish, got an accent, and is with the guy working on a house, legal contractor. Okay, he's here legally, goes to Mexico, back and forth all the time. Don't want to freak anybody out. And they were speaking Spanish out front. And next door, a couple doors down, there were some DOJ guys there doing something. They had DOJ vests on. They were dealing with some neighbor with some stuff. I don't know what it was going on. And I made a joke to these 2. I go, "Hey, be careful." And they both started laughing, but they actually know it's kind of serious in some ways. But what I've noticed, it's not so much in Morgan Hill where I live. It's more like the big cities, San Jose, LA, definitely blue states, where they're kind of focusing this stuff. I'm not so sure they're doing this. Obviously, it's a California thing in Southern California, but they're not really doing it in the red states. I believe that I could be wrong, but I believe that some of the enforcement in the red states, parts of meat packing and maybe some farming areas, are not being targeted like they are being in California. It's gotten really politically ugly. I watched Bill O'Reilly the other day on Chris Como, was it News Nation? I think he's on now. Say, "Oh, these ICE agents are just, they got to mask themselves because they're going to get doxxed, by whoever," and they probably would. And I'm just saying they probably would, but that doesn't mean it's right. It's going to be an interesting time 10, 15 years, 20 years now, looking back at this and see where this plays out. I think I know what side of history a lot of these people are going to fall on. It's going to be real interesting. And the other real quick thing I want to say, this is a numbers games, guys. This is nothing like the old cops having a quota thing, right? Those teams go out and they are going to, we got to get 10 people today, 5 people today, 15 people today. And so, it takes time to actually be a fugitive hunter and go find bad guys. But going rounding up guys working down the street or working at the Home Depot in San Jose and stuff like that, that's not hard to do. No, I'm not saying it's real. It's not saying it's real law enforcement. I'm just saying it's not hard to do. Chase a bunch of people down there just looking for work.
I saw one today. I saw a video today. It was pretty obvious that there was a brown guy with a weed whacker. Get him, And it's like I'd like to know where that probable cause is. I'd like to see they have thrown all probable cause and reason, and they don't care. And I don't care if you do stop somebody and you figure out that they're not illegal, what was your reason for stopping them to begin with? I mean, that you don't, but that's the world right now that we live in. And unfortunately, there are people that belong to a group that feel that this is okay. And with that being said, I saw posted today, just to let you know, that ICE apparently, they just reserved 70 rooms in Salinas and 70 rooms in Monterey and today. So just let you know. And
I think we should start targeting white South Africans and Irish people, because I think a lot of them here illegally. So I think we should just
Mark,
stop them for any reason,
right? Is it possible for you to pull up the photo that's in the email I sent of the list of?
It would take me a while to get to it, but go ahead, tell us about it.
Well, there's a photo of ICE at a construction site in Florida where they have it looks like maybe 100 construction workers all in their orange vests and their hard hats, and they're all lined up at this construction site while ICE is conducting their "your papers please" inspection. And I went to the academy a long time ago, but unless there's court rulings that I don't know about or the Constitution has changed, I don't know how that is lawful. Where is the probable cause?
They don't need it. They were given permission from the highest person.
We'll just ignore it. That's the way I look at it.
Okay. And I went to the United States Bureau of Prisons training when I was a sheriff's deputy to work. You had to have that to work in the jail. And again, in the jail, unless the Constitution has changed or there's court rulings, you cannot hold somebody incommunicado and not let them have access to their lawyers.
I know. Well, they're interpreting it a different way, Steve. They're what the law says or not. This administration or the people in charge, Christie, whatever dog killer lady, they're just doing it what they want to do. At this point, they think they're going to get away with it. Maybe they will. I don't know.
Well, they've been
the country's changing if they do, and maybe that's the way the country's going to become. I'm not saying it's perfect. It's not, but it sure seems weird.
So I have a question. I have a question for you, Steve. So you get stopped, and what do they consider? How do you prove that you're a citizen? I mean, I don't know. The databases we used to run people in, it didn't come up and tell us, oh, he's not a citizen. I mean, how do you prove you're not? But you don't have to carry identification. You don't have to have a wallet. And if you don't have you don't have to have a driver's license. Exactly. So what are they looking for? And you're not required right now, we don't require you to have to carry your papers, a passport or proof of citizenship. But at what point how are they determining that right there on the spot? I mean, are they fingerprinting these guys? I mean,
Greg says, I don't know about you guys. I don't carry a birth certificate or passport with me unless I'm traveling. I carry a driver's license. I'm clear about what the requirements are to prove citizenship. And a lot of states like California, and that's some of these groups don't like, you can get a driver's license if you're maybe here undocumented or whatever. And that I like that rule when it came out, because at least when I was dealing with people, I at least knew that the ID I was getting was issued from California. I knew the thumbprint on there was theirs, not these fake ones I would get from Mexico all the time. So I didn't really have issue issuing license to these people that were living here, working here. The legal stuff, that's in the issue. I used to call ICE agents as a cop when we were allowed to do it. If I had a real shithead and he was giving me a hard time, and I had reason, I used to do it, and then around whatever it was, 2010, they told us we couldn't do it anymore. Fine. Didn't do it anymore. But,
but they were probably actually trained ICE agents, not January 6th rejects that were given.
I don't understand the whole not bad. At least put your badge number on there. Come on, guys, be heroes. Okay. Don't disappoint your kids. All right. All right, I want to keep it as look. I'm trying to look at it from the hypocrite. I'm trying to the hypocrite point. This is what I'm saying. This is political in the sense where if you're conservative or a Trump guy, you're going to think this is cool. But I'll guarantee you, if it flipped and the other party was doing it to people of your background, you guys would be losing your friggin' minds. So don't be hypocrite.
It's not even about the party. What if they decided to round up everybody that was white?
I think so. I can go to Irish pub right now and I'll find 5 illegals.
You know, Scott, Mark, the other unseen cost to this, and I sound like a broken record, is the goodwill that's being squandered by these jerks in the masks without and the camo and the tanks and everything. Just the goodwill that good police officers generate every day, doing good police work, treating people decently, and all that goodwill is just being squandered by these jerks.
Yeah, these little ones. And that's the thing. Cops like us that had to do with all these rules about who we are, wearing a badge, showing our face. The only time I didn't show my face is when I was undercover in a riot crowd and I was just there for intel. But when I was arresting someone, I dealt with someone as a cop. You saw my face, you saw my name, or at least saw my badge. And
because you're not doing
I would respect these guys. I would actually respect these guys if they at least did it with their face showing and their badge number. And I understand doxing. I understand this is an issue. And you got to think about your family, stuff like that. But my God, you guys are doing it. This is the way they do it in other countries that we say we're better than. And now our own guys, our own wannabe cop dudes, all these guys under the Velcro and shit are doing this shit. And it's like, you guys are embarrassing. And that's what's so sad about it.
They are. It's embarrassing. It really is.
I mean, they're all having a good time because normally they're posted out in what do you call it, Egypt. They're out in the sticks, and they're like 150 miles away from the nearest Santana Row or shopping center.
They're scared of the big cities, Scott. Oakland's a tough crowd. They're scared of Oakland. I'll never go there.
They're bored to death, and now they're able to get out of that duty, and they're having a fun time,
I guess so.
At whose expense?
All right.
It's at the regular blue suiters' expense.
We're gonna move on because it gets charged up. And
next
obviously,
thing you know, we're gonna be
three of us
talking
have
about
our
Epstein.
opinion. Okay. So wait, real quick on the Epstein thing. So do they just think Hillary's or Bill's going to be on this list or something, but not Trump? I'm just curious what they all think. All right, I'm going to stop. I'm going to stop here.
Okay.
We got to move on.
I don't care who's on the list. If you're getting sexual favors from 12, 13-year-olds and 14-year-olds, then you should be arrested.
I just think it's funny how
it's that simple.
All of a sudden the list doesn't matter anymore. Whatever.
No, it doesn't exist.
I don't even know there was a list. I'm just saying. It's just funny how
no, it doesn't exist.
It flips. All right. Let's move on because we're getting a little. Obviously, we have a bias, so
she's going to look at it on her desk.
Okay. All right. Samuel Haskell. I know nothing about this. Samuel Haskell IV found dead in a jail cell. This next video reports on the death of Samuel Haskell IV, who was found dead in his jail cell, presumed to be by suicide. Haskell was awaiting for trial for the murder of dismemberment of his wife and the murder of her parents. The report details the grim discovery of his wife's torso and the ongoing mystery surrounding this case. So let's just go to it because I have not seen this and I have no clue what we're talking about here, guys.
And rescue crew members from the city of Acuña, Ciudad Acuña, on the Mexican side of the border, just across the river, across the Rio Grande from Del Rio.
Oh, no, sorry.
They were brought up here to try and help out as well.
Wow, I screwed that one up, didn't I? Let's see. Okay, I had these out of order.
He was as wrong as 2 left feet.
I know, man. Sorry, I screwed that one up bad.
Oh, man.
Of a Hollywood heavyweight awaiting trial for killing and dismembering his wife and murdering her parents is dead.
A 37-year-old Samuel Haskell IV was found dead in his cell. It's presumed to be a suicide. Rachel Menitoff is live in the newsroom now with the dramatic end to his story. Rachel?
Rick Scher, Haskell was scheduled to appear for a preliminary hearing today. If convicted, he faced up to life in prison without parole. Now his death means on a criminal level, this case is over.
Like my resume says, unhappy, bitter, resentful.
Samuel Haskell, the son of a top Hollywood executive, found dead inside his jail cell at LA's Twin Tower Correctional Facility early Saturday morning by suicide. The 37-year-old was charged with killing and dismembering his wife and in-laws inside their Tarzana home in 2023. LA County District Attorney Nathan Hochman says the defendant evaded justice and robbed the victim's family of their day in court.
Okay, so this guy's famous or something?
His parents, I think, were big time TV producers. They produced some popular TV shows.
Okay.
But Mr. Haskell never, ever volunteered what happened and where he put the body parts of the 3 individuals he brutally killed, nor has he ever provided a full explanation as to why he did it.
The 3 family members were last seen alive on November 6, 2023. A day later, the husband and father of 3 is said to have hired day laborers to dispose of trash bags containing their body parts. The men were told the bags contained rocks, and when they looked inside, they saw the remains, brought them back.
Man, too bad those ICE agents didn't find those guys when that was going down. that would have made a big news story.
Yeah, and they might not be around to testify because they might have got deported.
And called police. But when authorities arrived, all evidence was gone. They zeroed in on Haskell after a man scavenging for recyclables found a human torso in an Encino dumpster. Investigators believe this was his wife May's body, but her parents were never found. Hochman says investigators found machetes, cutting saws.
All right, I'm sorry. I gotta.
Wow.
Hey, listen,
I want to
apologize.
I want to apologize. I had to take a call. My alarm was going off. So
it's okay. I was going to say though, if you're going to dispose of body parts, don't put it into recycling, because when I put my recycling out, there's at least 2 people that go through it every week. So that you put it in the regular garbage, not in the recycling, right? Steve,
there you go. Good,
yeah.
Good to know for anybody that's planning on disposing.
Yes. Don't put it in the recycling because someone will go through it.
Knives, a .357 firearm, and blood all over Haskell's home.
Well, the effort to find the bodies of Mr. Haskell's in-laws will never stop until they're found. The likelihood, though, of finding them, almost a year and a half after they were killed goes down every day.
Haskell was charged with 3 counts of murder. He pleaded not guilty and was being held without bond before his trial.
So this was a very strong case for the prosecution, one where they were certain they were going to get a conviction.
Retired FBI agent Bobby Chacon, who has reviewed the evidence in this case, says the defendant began plotting a month before the murders and seemed to have a getaway plan.
So he was planning on murdering these people, getting rid of their bodies at least long enough to make his escape to Japan. And, it's pretty clear that that's what happened. But for the intervention of those laborers that did the right thing.
We extradite from Japan, don't we, Steve?
Yes, we do.
Okay. I mean, go to Russia.
Okay. He might have gotten away with it.
Yeah.
And a suicide note was apparently found. The DA says he hasn't had a chance to review it, but was told it does not provide a motive or the location of the remains.
All right. Steve, go ahead.
No, I'm just going to say I can't imagine why they're unable to find the remains of the parents. I mean, I couldn't for the life of me figure out how to dispose of 2 bodies. Gee. So where they're just, where they couldn't be found.
Well, come on. There are all kinds of different ways. I mean,
you watch,
but he had already put them in bags and had the day laborers trying to get rid of them. And then he was able to get rid of them after the day laborers called the police.
Did they?
Did the day laborers call the police? Yeah, they did.
I'm being bad. I'm sorry. I just. Would you? I wouldn't if I was a day laborer.
Yeah, no, nowadays.
So, well, I'm sorry.
It sounds terrible.
It's gone. It is terrible, and
it sounds like something you see on TV on that show Dexter or something.
So we got 2 cases. We got the Grease case and this one. These are going to be 48-hour murder mysteries here within a year. I bet. This one.
And the other mystery is how he's able to commit suicide in the jail.
Hi, Portia.
In the jail. I had a case when I was a brand new deputy working. I was working midnights in the jail, and I happened to be making my rounds. I was by myself. I think my partner was on lunch break or something, and I walked by we called them like safety cells. They were for suicide watch cells. And I walked by, and this guy's hanging. He's hanging from the ceiling, and I was right out of the academy, and I freaked out, and I hit the alarm, and I cut the guy down. I'm giving him CPR. I was able to revive him and save his life. And then he winds up getting released from jail and goes to the airport and tries to hijack an airplane and gets shot in the head by San Jose Merge.
Well, really good thing you saved his life. You did something really good with it. But, the one thing, too, is that there might be 61 seconds of the video missing. We may not know how the suit, I mean.
We're bad. Oh, my God. Okay. All right.
61 seconds of the video disappears.
I mean, hey, there you go.
Hey, it
hey,
happened,
I
right?
think that's right. Hey, okay, let's get. You know what people watch Fugitive Watch for? They watch to see us go over these 911 calls. So, Steve, we're going to get back to the Texas tragedy here in a little bit, but I want to go over some calls. So I know people like Tony is waiting to see what these cops are doing on these 911 calls, and I know Tony's still there. So, 911 call and police respond to home invasion. This video features a 911 call from a neighbor reporting a home invasion with yelling and breaking items. Okay. Following by a call from inside the house stating the intruder has a knife. Body cam footage shows law enforcement arriving repeatedly, commanding the suspect to drop the weapon and eventually enter the home, and amidst screams and commotion.
Commotion?
Yeah, commotion.
Commotion?
I got this thing. I need to blow it up a little bit. One victim being grabbed by the suspect. All right, here we go. Sorry, guys.
I want to see some commotion.
Commotion.
Just to warn the viewers, this is a graphic video. If you have children, you may not want to watch this.
Hi, my neighbors are yelling. I believe somebody broke into their home. There's a lot of things breaking, and you can hear a lot of loud bangs. They're like yelling.
Start with the address, okay?
You just told me someone with a knife that broke into the window. Nobody has a weapon. I don't know what it is. Something in the hand. Hello? Yeah?
Yes. Hello?
Yeah. There's a person, we can't see the dark. They broke into my friend's house. Nobody has something in his hand.
What does he have in his hand? What does he have in his hand?
You look like a knife. Look like a knife.
Now the commotion.
Yes, yeah.
He's not right here.
LA County Sheriff's Department.
He's got scissors?
He's got scissors in his hand. Hey, drop everything in your hand.
Now, real quick, these guys are unmasked and they have their names and badge numbers on. Okay, I'll keep going.
Yeah.
Drop everything in your hand. He's at the door right now with scissors in his hand.
Got scissors in his hand.
Drop everything in your hand now.
Check out. What's up?
Hey, girl, he's a man at the door with scissors in his hand.
Well, he went to the other room.
Which door is he at?
He was at this one, but I think he's walking towards the front.
Okay. The LA County Sheriff's Department, if you're inside the house, come out with your hand down now. If you're inside,
You can fast forward if you want, Mark. They make entry to the house.
No, we're gonna watch it through.
Okay.
Is this window off to the left, correct?
yeah. 3140. You saying I got scissors, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, scissors. Scissors. Okay, we're ready to go.
Screaming. He's grabbing her. Get in.
Go. In. Go.
You hear the officer deputy saying he's stabbing her.
Sheriff's Department.
Wow.
Yeah. That might have just got us banned off YouTube.
come on. Hey, grab her feet. Just grab her feet. Grab her feet. Hey, someone.
All right, guys, what do you think?
Do we know?
This is the work that
live?
real police officers do.
Yeah, those weren't January
right.
6th ICs.
Okay.
Was she
Sorry.
Was she okay?
Yeah. What's
Steve,
going on,
do you know?
Steve? What happened?
Yeah, the press release didn't say whether or not she survived the stab wounds or not. So I don't know the answer to that. But the suspect did die of his injuries.
All right. So I mean, you got this again shows everything that cops have to go through when they're dealing with stuff like this, right?
Well, what I saw there was that they went up, they checked, they saw somebody was in there. They didn't want to. They didn't want to force the confrontation, which is what the term is. So they backed off and tried calling the guy out, but obviously that did not work. But I noticed that when they went in there, if I was missing it, they looked like a hospital bed. Did it look like there was somebody?
Yeah.
They ran by there. I don't.
So Tony's saying a video banned from YouTube gets you banned. No, I know. It's just, I just laughed because I didn't watch this video and wow, it's violent. But I think that police channel has all the not for young audiences, and they did have the disclaimers on top. But again, this is what cops got to go through.
I also gave a verbal waiver.
Yeah, you did. All right. Hey, real quick, before we move on, I want to ask everyone a question, the viewers out there, because a lot's going on here. But first, if you're not following Fugitive Watch on Instagram, Scott runs the channel on Instagram, and check out Fugitive Watch on Instagram. Over 11,000 followers now, and Scott does a good job of doing small little snippets of a lot of these stories on here. And also you can message them on Instagram, and that's a good place to do it. And we have a question for you. We're trying to figure out this live stream and get this live stream going. And, we talk a lot, and we obviously you could tell our political biases, or at least our disgust with some stuff going on. And I know maybe not everyone shares our opinions that way. Can you let us know what you prefer? Do you prefer us doing these reviews of the 911 footage? Because there's a lot of that, and we can give our perspective on that. Or do you want us to just do fugitive cases? Or I know you are looking to look at our perspective as patrol guys, and Scott and I, in this case, are just reacting to these videos for the first time. And so a lot of this is our reaction. But let us know either in the comments or send Scott a message on Instagram and let us know what you think, because we want to curate the stream here to the type of stuff that's going to work and help us out. And maybe us going through the 911 videos is something that can add a lot of value. And all the other stuff, I like the videos like the car chases and stuff like that. Something I got a lot of experience with, and these guys deal with a lot of these
I think, Mark,
things.
I think a lot of this is the purpose of us doing this. A lot of times is so that people get a perspective. Like a lot of people watch these videos, they go, "Why did they do that?" Or "Why did that guy?" Like, for example, you're probably wondering why they were smashing out that window, right? There's a whole lot of reasons. One could have been as a distraction technique to get the guy to go over there while the other guy's looking through the other window. I mean, there's a lot of, sometimes, busting the door in immediately can force that, can force the confrontation where now you're in this immediate shooting, whereas if you might have had time to talk the guy down. And so sometimes there's really no super right or wrong answer. And it just depends on the experience and the training of the officers that were there. But nobody wants to go in there and have to gun somebody down like that. I mean, that's definitely not what you went to work that day hoping to have to do.
Right.
And they're humans too.
And I think you're right though, that distraction, why breaking the window, that's a good point. The distraction technique. And that's something maybe someone who wasn't a police officer might not understand. And so those are the things we'll try more as we're doing these shooting videos or these police incident videos. And there's all these body camera channels out there now, and we can spend a lot of time just breaking those down, adding some context to it. And But again, also when there's a manhunt going on, or like we're talking about the Greece murder investigation, like, well, what are the cops going to be looking at, right? What are all the different things are the motives or things they're going to be looking into? So I'm hoping we add that value. Let us know in the comments. Kelly Spectre Luigi, I don't know what that means. She said, or he, combination would be interesting. All right, so great.
My sister.
Oh, okay, and not a commotion. I was like, oh, I can't read that. All right, cool. So hey, guess what? We're gonna go. Oh no, I just had that big rant about political stuff, and guess what this next story is? But this one is weird. This one is friggin' weird. So I tell you what, if someone points out a story from the other side of the political fence that is weird, I will air it next week. So just email Scott, Steve, or send an Instagram, and we'll try to be fair here.
There's a whole lot of that.
Check
weird
this out.
there.
Man beheads father, posts video online. This video discusses a shocking case of Justin Mann, 33, who fatally shot and beheaded his 68-year-old father, Michael Mann. Justin then posted a video on the YouTube displaying his father's severed head. Tony, I think that one got banned, at least the head part, claiming it was a citizen arrest because he believed his father had betrayed him and preventing him from becoming charismatic political leader. Definitely a brown shirt. He faces murder and terrorism charges. Okay, let's just wow, this is crazy.
He is now in hell for eternity as a traitor to his country. It is said that those who commit treason and betray others occupy the lowest pits of hell for all time.
These were the chilling words uttered by Justin Mann just moments after he fatally shot, then beheaded his own father, and displayed the severed head on YouTube.
Charges have been filed in a gruesome killing in Bucks County. A man was found decapitated in a home. Police took his son into custody 100 miles away, and they believe there was more to this murder than just a family grudge.
On January 30th, 2024, residents of Pennsylvania were shocked to learn the details of this disturbing family tragedy. A year and a half later, the adult son behind the killing has taken the stand in a murder trial that prosecutors described as something straight out of a horror film. Here's everything we know about the brutal beheading and the crazed conspiracy theories of the accused. On the third day of his trial in suburban Bucks County, 33-year-old Justin D. Mann coldly told the court how he fatally shot his dad, Michael Mann, age 68, in the head during a, quote, citizen's arrest. Justin was living at home.
Okay, I got to comment because we got to comment a little bit if we're going to keep our right. What do you call it?
Gotcha.
Availability to play this video out. So, okay, he's crazy. I mean, right? I mean, this is just pure. Someone has gone off the edge, you know.
Yeah,
evil, maybe. Crazy for sure, right?
He was found sane to stand trial. He was not found insane. He was found sane to stand trial. The district attorney was able to show the court that he knew what he was doing, and
okay, I didn't know that. Okay,
he said his father was going to prevent him from becoming the next Donald Trump.
Oh wow. Okay, well let's continue. That's interesting.
With his parents in Levittown while he was looking for a job and apparently becoming radicalized. I unfortunately had to use deadly force, he said in his testimony, which eerily echoed what he told Philadelphia's NBC 10 in September of last year.
Well, I wasn't expecting this. I had a speech ready, but I don't have that speech on me. A lot of other people around America believe that the federal government has betrayed America. They're destroying the country, and we have to do something to take our country back.
Okay, this is obviously a year or two ago.
Yeah.
Okay. This is like I thought this is fake. I thought this is like a reality fake thing that I'm watching right now.
Yeah, very disturbing. Yeah, he was he had a grudge against his father because his father was a federal employee, and a certain part of our political society has got a big grudge against federal employees for some reason, and he was part of that.
And you know, look, I've been on both extremes as a cop.
Would have got arrested.
Yeah.
Would have lost his job.
Hey, real quick, Greg appreciates hearing our reactions firsthand to videos you have not seen previously. I think that's more honest. Thanks, Greg. We appreciate it. Yeah, that's what Carmen says too. She likes to hear our take on what's going on because, again, like the window distraction Scott A lot of people may not know what's going on. All right, let's.
Killing your father have to do with that?
Well, he was a federal employee and betrayed me. I was trying to perform a citizen's arrest. He resisted that citizen's arrest. It's lawful to use deadly force in that event.
Justin testified that his dad had threatened him and tried to take away the 9mm handgun that he purchased the day before. He said he believed his father was trying to stop him from becoming a charismatic political leader like President Donald Trump. Justin painted his political beliefs as different from his parents, whom he described as being on the far left. He also explained that his dad was a martial arts expert with 2 black belts. Michael Mon was a respected civil engineer who spent 20 years with the Army Corps of Engineers. But in his seemingly emotionless 2-hour testimony, Justin said, "I would object to calling it a murder," and claimed that killing his dad was his plan B and that he knew his YouTube video would go viral. His sick video rant indeed spread like wildfire. In the nearly 15-minute speech, Justin said he needed to kill his dad to inspire others to join his movement to overthrow the government.
Okay. You know what I think of this? I think of some of the sycophants that were around some of the political leaders during the Second World War on the Axis side. And then later in trial, right? Nuremberg trial and stuff like that. And a lot of these guys just stood by what they believed. And I'm kind of getting that vibe from this guy. I got to say, I know they say, you know, he's sane, but this is kind of crazy. But I get you want that sane hearing so you can do the trial.
He's sane enough.
Evil.
He's sane enough. No, he's sane enough. What they're saying is he knew what he was doing, and that's what we know, that you have to be insane.
Okay.
I mean, look at today's politics. You'd have to be insane to be voting and agreeing with some of the stuff that's going on. Right. But you're sane enough to know what's going on. But I know. I didn't say anything about it.
I know.
I didn't.
Look, I got to be fair. And I'm pretty middle of the road. I don't belong to any party.
Yeah, Mark.
Look, I could watch stuff going on some of the college campuses supporting Palestine that would kill some of these people in a heartbeat that are, you know, that are pretty sad. So I see, and as a cop, as undercover cop in crowd control situations, I've seen the extremes on both sides. So my point is you have wackos on all edges here. But this guy's clearly a wacko on this one side.
Okay. Just for the public's information, as a deputy, I worked court security overtime sometimes in high profile homicide cases. And sometimes they were trying to use the insanity defense, and I was able to listen to the arguments between the defense attorney and the prosecution. And what normally people would think that guy has to be crazy to do what he did, you know. But insanity defense has got legal definitions that have to be met for somebody to be classified as insane and not able to stand trial. They can do the craziest stuff, but if they're not able to fit in that definition, then they don't get the insanity defense.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I think we could all sit here and agree that there's something definitely something's not right.
Tony,
but
yeah, Tony says this kid is probably an MK Ultra experiment. All right. So, okay, Greg, they can deem him competent to stand trial all they want. He's still whack. Greg, I agree. I just, yeah,
I agree too.
Greg, what are those district attorneys thinking? Okay. All right, never mind. All right. So, all right, let's move on. Okay. I'm going to keep this on the review videos right now to keep a theme going here. Police respond to domestic disturbance, shot fired. This video depicts this, that too. A tense police response to a domestic disturbance call where a neighbor reported screaming and calls for help. Upon arrival, officers faced gunfire from inside the unit. The suspect is identified as a former Army Ranger. A female victim is found injured, and officers work to move her to safety while the suspect continues to shoot. These are heroes here at work, guys, leading to an ongoing standoff. All right, let's watch this.
Real quick before you start, just so that to put a little bit more perspective onto this. This is Seattle PD in the Pacific Northwest, and the police department is working to individual, completely separate officer-involved shootings going down at the same time.
Oh, okay.
And this is one of them.
Okay, let's watch it.
911, what is the location of your emergency?
Hi, I'm at is screaming hysterically, her and her boyfriend.
And it's male and female screaming at each other. Can you hear if they're making any verbal threats to harm each other?
I think it sounded like she was screaming, "Help me!" just now. I know my boyfriend was like, "I think we're gonna have to call the cops." He said that he had heard her say at some point, "Don't hurt me."
You know, I can remember being
showing up.
I can remember being a young officer in LA, and I just moved into a little apartment down there, and a neighbor just started beating the crap out of his wife. And me and the landlord were banging on the door. We had to call the cops. That was me on the 911 call saying, "Hey man, my neighbor, I hear the lady screaming and stuff like that." It was a small apartment in LA, but I never thought I'd be in that situation where I'd be calling the cops like that for basically what this lady just did here.
You say something.
In the comments section of this video, you can see that quite a few people were critical of the officers in this shooting.
What were they critical about?
I'll cover that in a minute. He shot.
Shots fired. Shots fired. Shots fired. I got the door.
What did I just miss? I'm going back here.
Are you okay? I'm Officer Schrader, just so you know I'm recording.
Well, it said he retreated, but maybe he retreated back and got a gun.
Oh wow!
Hey!
So he shot her.
Shots fired. Shots fired.
He's on the,
he shot. He went upstairs, got a gun, and shot down from the window. Steve.
That's some of the criticism the officers are receiving is from some of the comments that I read was that the officers allowed him to retreat back into the apartment.
Oh my God!
I got perspective on that.
Yep.
I need you to get up. I need you to get up now. I need you to get up. Okay, get behind the
Suspect is shooting.
Ma'am, I need you to get up. He's back here. He's back here. I got it.
Oh my God.
We're right here in the front unit. He's shooting out of this window and this door.
So real quick, okay, I don't know if the cops have been to this place before. I don't know if they know the layout. They know the layout of this place. They don't know that's his window up there, right?
Excuse me?
They don't know if that's going to be his window up there. Those cops have never been there before. They don't. Maybe they know the layout of whose window
they were struggling with him there in the doorway in the initial video. And
right, but so the guy runs upstairs. I mean, they got a lot to think about. A lot of windows. They don't know which window this guy might pop out of. I know one of them was covering the stairs. I can almost guarantee that.
Right.
Well, I guarantee you they were covering the stairs. And the thing is that they were the most important thing was getting that victim out of there. She was obviously something was wrong. Now you cover that door. That guy retreats, runs back upstairs. They're going to continue to cover the stairs. They're trying to deal with her. She's not having it. You know, she's distraught for whatever reason. That happened pretty fast. This guy, obviously, in his head, he had a plan. I'm going to run in there. I'm going to run upstairs, grab my gun, and shoot. I'm not going to Monday morning quarterback those officers.
No, not at all.
I'm not.
There's a lot going on.
I'm just sharing some of the comments.
Oh, no.
Why the
we know that.
Why the officers did not chase him up the stairs? You know why he run up the stairs?
Hold on.
Unless you know there's going to be more victims up there than.
He's loading.
He's loading. He is loading. He is reloading. We need additional units now. All right, hey, I'm gonna shift her.
Yeah, they need to get her out of there, right? And that's what they end up doing, right?
Yeah. You can end the video.
Oh no, we're good here.
Drop the gun, sir.
Drop the gun. It's the Seattle police.
Sir.
Come on with your hands up.
I think he doesn't deserve sir anymore.
Wow.
Ma'am, don't move. He is moving in the unit.
And again, Seattle PD's working another officer involved shootout at the same time this is going down.
So you see right now what's going through their mind, what would be going through my mind unless I know the layout. Obviously that they can see him, but again, they don't know if he's got a back door.
Can you stand up?
Back porch.
Okay.
Right. I would think there'd be someone around the back.
Ma'am, can you stand up though? You're not hurt, correct? Bassie, are you hurt? Bassie,
Keep dragging this way.
Bassie, are you injured?
No.
I'm a little injured.
The officer's doing a roll call, make sure everybody answers up they're okay.
Is that window yours as well? Yeah. Okay.
Hey, we need medics. Female is hit.
So there we go. We got officers asking her which windows belong to your apartment, and those are the windows they're going to focus on. Although I would cover all of them if you could, but you're at least going to focus on those two based on what she's saying. And again, you're right, Steve. You're hopefully someone's in the back watching the back windows because he can jump out and come around the side or something like that.
Yeah, I did see somebody in the right, off to the right in the back. There is an officer. It looks like he was taking cover behind a fence, so he's probably monitoring. It's probably might have like a small porch area or something.
Female is struck right side, possible rib cage. She is bleeding.
And that poor woman, she's still exposed there and to the line of fire of the gunman.
Sir, Seattle police. Hey, come on with your hands up.
They need to drag her out of there, but
you see him?
No, he said fucking no. Hey, sir, we don't want this to escalate. Show me your hands. Get out.
Back up, back up.
You just shot from here.
Back up, back up.
Hey,
Wow.
The suspect is a former Army Ranger.
It's the location of your emergency.
Former Army Ranger, and then you got to be careful of the whole like you said, you got one officer covering this window up here, right? And then you got him covering the door. And I'm worried about this, but I know the officer angled off to the right over here. It probably has that angle covered. You can see him walk up there because I saw him aiming over there earlier. So I guess that's covered. I guess I'm not too worried about it at this point.
But they're exposed too. They have no cover. They're just out.
They don't, they're using the edging, the slicing the pie, right? And just ready to shoot anything pokes around the corner.
Yeah.
But you're right.
But in that guy comes out, they're going to be in a toe-to-toe gun battle right there.
Yeah, but it's going to be 3 against 1, right?
Yeah, that's great. So you still take a round. But see, I like how this guy is controlling this guy he's holding on to him so that he knows.
Come back.
Yeah. That way he doesn't.
I can see part of the door only.
We need an EMT for the female. What's up?
I can see the stairwell.
Yeah.
I can't see.
So again, right at the same time though, guys, right? You have a whole nother incident going on, correct?
Yes, there was an officer involved shooting going down at the same time at a park.
Is that the victim saying that she can see the stairwell? Was that the
No, that's the other cop.
Oh, okay, because somebody sounded distraught.
No.
This suspect has been released from prison after serving time for a double homicide.
System work.
I don't know.
This is chaotic. This is like any other combat scene going down. You know this guy's an Army professional. He knows how to do this type of stuff, and he's
I'm not really sure if he really was. I think he told her that, but I don't think he really was
really?
If we can get an SPD EMT on scene,
He had
they
done-
can move
he had
to a
done, like,
secondary location.
10
but we are
years for a
unable to
homicide.
render aid at this time.
Seattle police, show me your hands. Our victim is right here.
Let's get set up containment.
You see him? Seattle police.
Okay, so we got another angle going on here. Let's watch a little bit of it, and then we'll. This is.
Hands now. Don't reach.
Okay, so there he is. She's on the floor. He's going up the stairs. This is the officer who's
Seattle
covering the
police,
stairs.
need you to come out with your hands out.
Okay.
I don't know what that was in his hand.
Seattle Police Department, sir, inside of this.
So he's got that side covered, and then
You need to get her out. Ma'am, I need you to get up. I need you to get up now. I need you to get up.
So Steve, what's the final outcome?
They got the SWAT team out there and found that he had shot himself in the head, committed suicide.
I heard that one shot. There was that one gunshot before the body camera switch. Was that him killing himself?
I don't know.
Yeah, I heard that too. It didn't look like it was the officer shooting.
That is, yeah, there was that one shot, and then the body camera switch. So that could have been him offing himself. But in that situation, that's what you're going to do, right? You're going to want to get her out, set up a perimeter, watch all the exits, watch the windows, and then that's when you do that SWAT call out, correct?
Correct.
Yeah. I mean, unless you think he's got additional victims or hostages in there, then you got to commit. I mean,
Well, you got to commit if you got to commit if he's shooting. If you start hearing gunshots and people screaming, then you have, as an officer, you have to commit charge in there. That's what the taxpayers are paying you for, to take that chance and go in there, because you got a gun and a badge, and you guys need to team up and do that.
So one of the questions
but if he's saying, "Oh, I got this kid and I'm gonna kill him," or like that, I mean, that could be, you got to have you got to judge that when it comes, and maybe let a negotiator come in or something. Correct?
It complicates.
Well, in that case, when somebody's asking about chasing him up the stairs, and no, I would not. That's not a good idea, because one, you have the victim out there. You need to deal with her. You need to get her safe. You need to lock down that perimeter so he's not a problem. You need to question her, find out if there's anybody else in the house you have to worry about. But if one guy runs up there to deal with him, he's on his own, and you don't know what he's got. Obviously, he had a gun up there. I had the exact same situation, but we heard the guy racking his shotgun, and we were below the window, and I'm like, okay, I'm not going to run in there. I know this guy is armed with a shotgun. And so, no, you would not run in there and chase the guy unless he is showing you right then and there he is a danger. He's about to take somebody else out, or, but as soon as those stairs were so steep, as soon as he rounded that corner, you don't know what you're going into.
Yeah, and I've worked with officers, Scott, that I am 100% sure that they would have chased that guy up the stairs, and I've worked with officers that I'm 100% sure that there's no way in hell they would have chased him up the stairs.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think a lot of it too is we're all humans, and it really depends. You're sitting there and you're assessing everything at that moment. You have an hysterical woman here. Can one officer handle that? Can you grab her and just pull her around the corner, pull her off to safety? And in that case, and at that time, I don't know how many officers were on the scene. It appears they had 3 guys, and they had one guy covering the back and one guy covering, after that, was covering the window. I am wondering why it took them so long to extricate her out of there.
It could be there. Maybe there
some of the comments in the comment section.
Yeah. I mean, you're going to hold one arm on the door and then trying to drag her around the corner there. That's kind of what you would think, but man, we don't
your
know.
Adrenaline's,
They
your adrenaline's going to be pumping,
Yeah.
man. And I probably watching that. And again, I'm not saying they did anything wrong.
I don't think so.
My head, I would have grabbed her. I would have grabbed her. I would have wrapped her up and just drug her around the corner so that she was no longer in the. But here's the other thing too. Now that ties that officer up too. And
Sure.
then you leave the one guy on door, one guy on window. You get the guy in, your.
So what you could do is 2 officers, one covering the door, one covering the window, and then get her around the corner at least. But again, it's
in a military situation, Mark, they would call for covering fire and to cover, keep his head down while you went and did the rescue. But in police work, I don't think there's any police departments that authorize cover fire.
Yeah, that's exactly. That's it. Now, that one officer was shooting like crazy there for a second, but you can't lay down cover fire when you get to go in to do a rescue like that. But then again, if they did, nobody's going to. I think you do what you got to do to preserve her life and to.
Based on the attempt, though, from the window up above, any shoot beyond that, any inkling this guy was going to shoot you or stuff like that, I think would have been justified at this point. Cover fire or not, just because you see him up there and he's raging or something like that. You don't know if he's got a gun or not. So again, you want to get her safe. You got to take the shot of getting her out, getting her around the corner, and you got to do what you got to do. So,
and here's something else. Here's something else. You have being in that situation. Have I worked with these guys before? Do I know what they're capable of? Do I know? Because I work with guys that I know exactly what, like you said, Steve, I know exactly what they're going to do. I know what they're thinking. We've trained together. We've worked together. Are these, so you got to.
Not if it's your whole night and you're working with a whole bunch of people.
That's what I'm saying. You may not, but I've
a young deputy for Dean getting sent over to a different district with a bunch of guys that don't like him.
Yeah, every 2 weeks. Yeah.
You remember that punk hawk guy that I told you that we were in the situation going through that, and I ended up just grabbing him and yanking his butt out of the house, and because the guy was a danger, he was going to he'll hurt somebody else.
Yeah, we got in a shooting.
All that stuff goes through your head.
Yeah, we got in a shooting. One guy was confronting me, and then his buddy shot one of the officers, and the shooting started. And I actually went back to my truck, but I grabbed the guy who was confronting me, who had dropped to the ground. I pulled him back with the truck with me, and I cuffed him while we were keeping our guns down range. But it's crazy because at that moment you're thinking, well, I can't, you don't want to leave someone out here. Even this guy might be a bad guy, because if something happens to him, I may be held responsible, or it's just not the right thing to do. At the time I just thought I need to get this guy to cover because he wasn't armed. He was just being a drunk ass.
Yeah, unfortunately, you got to think about everything. And one of the things you are always thinking about, you don't think you are, is liability.
2 more stories, guys. 2 more stories. We're going to do a police chase, and then we got to talk about some good work down in Texas here recently. Okay, so I wanted to go about this one. High-speed pursuit, another one we can review here. High-speed pursuit ends in crash and foot chases. Video captures high-speed police pursuit that began with an attempted carjacking. The masked suspect leads officers on a dangerous chase through a city street and freeway, reaching high speeds and driving erratically. The pursuit ends in a crash with 2 armed suspects fleeing on foot, leading to a confrontation and shots fired before one suspect taken custody. Steve, is this in the East Bay or local one, I think, right?
I believe this originated in the city of Concord, and it was, I believe, a bank robbery, and they chased them to city of San Jose.
Let's go.
Warning. The following video may include content that many will find disturbing.
Voice.
Viewer discretion is strongly advised.
Oh my God.
Okay, so they're watching the carjacking.
It looks like it, yeah.
Angela, no. Where we go? Where? Okay, so I got him trying to carjack someone. Hey! Let me see your hands! Hey! Hey, come back! Let me see your hands! Stop! Stop! Fuck!
That's exactly what I would have said.
Mary 2, good case 15. He's outbound.
I gotta say something about this body camera footage. You don't need shows like Cops or anything anymore because we're getting it all now.
This is a really long pursuit. I didn't see this.
You got a mask on. We're flipping a U-turn, going back on Sage. Sorry, my bad. No, back on Lundy, southbound Lundy, occupied time.
So we're in San Jose now.
Yeah, they're in San Jose.
Couldn't really see if there was anybody else in the car. It looks like a solo. We're about 70 miles an hour.
This is a San Jose car or Siege people?
No, this is Concord, I believe.
Oh, Lundy. Okay, I thought they said San Jose.
Yeah, this is well, Concord PD is that's their dash
Right
cam.
turn on Berryessa. Right turn on Berryessa.
No, man, this is San Jose, Berryessa, man.
Yeah, but it's Concord PD and they chase them to San Jose.
Oh, they chase them all the way down this way.
Yeah.
Where's San Jose
Red
PD?
light at Berryessa and
What the hell?
Station.
Yeah, it's over by the market station there, by the flea market. And he's going to call Mayberry. He's going to call it Mulberry.
Blew the red light at Sierra Road. Going about 60 miles an hour in that one lane.
Passing the flea market there.
Medium.
Back on April 21st, a year ago. No, just a couple months ago.
He's right shoulder. Okay, back. We're just passing commercial.
He's doing pretty good on calling from a city. He's not from the city.
Over there.
Yeah, lost sight of him now.
See if there wouldn't get out of the way of the cop car.
Yeah, I'm not in pursuit. I lost them. But Bayshore, he took Bayshore.
He's going to spot him again. There, he's
I got him.
Oh my God!
Right in front of him. Coming up over the freeway on Mulberry.
That's where I got hit head on.
Making a right turn on Mulberry Road.
Tony knows. Tony can call the streets out for these guys.
Wrong side of the road. Okay. Just CC'd with somebody right in front of 880. Suspect, there's two suspects running.
There he goes.
I think that's over by Rosen.
One suspect, black shirt, all black, handgun, running down Timothy and Mulberry. The other one is in a gray, all gray, with the firearm. Both have firearms.
He's doing a good job.
That's San Jose?
No, the San Jose's not on scene yet.
He's got a firearm with him.
He takes off. He tries a carjack again.
999. Mulberry. Get on the ground! Get on the fucking ground!
He's gonna tire out.
He's got a gun with a drum on it.
So he drops it, but then he picks it back up.
Oh my God! Yeah, at this point, just take him out. I have no problem with that shoot.
Absolutely not.
Steve, why is that a good shoot right there?
Definitely poses a threat to life and limb.
Okay, say that again. I'm sorry, I had the audio going. Why is that a good shoot? He was running away at that point.
He poses an immediate threat to life.
Right, because it's obvious he wasn't stopping. He picked up the gun again after trying to jack that car. So at this point, the officers are like watching this guy pursue that started in Concord, right? All the way down here, obviously still running, still trying to jack cars, drops the gun, picks up the gun again, running away, and the cop finally decides to take the shot. Well, at the right time, that, I think.
In my perspective, if I was in that position and I saw him drop the gun, I'm like, oh, okay, he's going to give up. And then he picks the gun up. And he's absolutely not going to give up. He's going to shoot this out with me.
And that's my point. That's my point. I'm talking about, okay, at what point makes this okay to shoot that guy? Picking up the gun again after dropping it is kind of shows his intent.
Well, the likelihood, if he gets away, the likelihood he's going to end up killing somebody. If he carjacks another car, and they've already, the They're chasing this guy all through the streets of San Jose. There, how many people are going to get just from getting hurt in the pursuit? You got to stop at some point. You got to stop this thing,
right?
And he's not going to stop,
right?
So
right here, this is what we're talking about here. He drops it. Can't get it. I'm picking it back up. Okay, now you know what? No, we're done. We're done messing around.
You got a drum magazine on that gun too.
Yeah. No, that was some serious firepower. He was. I mean.
So Concord chased this guy all the way south.
I've been in chases the other way around. Where we've chased from San Jose all the way to Concord.
Right.
They're asking if he dropped the gun. If he dropped the gun on purpose, it certainly appeared he kind of set it down. I think he had a moment of clarity and then changed his mind. He picked it back up.
But him picking it back up changes the whole scenario.
And this guy's got his phone out. He's door dashing. He's got his gun out. He's steering. Yeah, I'm telling you, cops can multitask.
There you go.
Get on the route now. Get on the fucking route now.
Oh, this is actually.
See, now that's how you talk to a crook, not sir.
Yeah, but in our department back in the day, remember, you all that would have been okay except for you're getting a day on the beach because
I'll sign that and put it on my wall.
You use inappropriate language.
Yeah,
and when you walk in Sergeant Casfita's office, he had all these incidents where he got in trouble, all signed by him, so he could show his guys. Look, I did it. Look, I did it. Look. Back in the day,
Joe McNamara, he's the one who
took away our verbo judo.
Yeah, verbal judo. Yeah, he said he didn't like that.
No more verbal judo, huh? Okay.
All
right, let's go ahead and tell us. So, Steve, what can you tell us any more? Did they catch the other guy?
Yes, they did. Yes, they did. They did arrest the other guy, and so they're both sitting in jail now.
Oh, good.
So there's a question there. Do you aim for the leg? No. You aim for center mass. You aim to stop the threat. We're not trained to shoot limbs and toes and shoot the gun out of their hand. That's all Hollywood stuff. Police officers are aimed. You aim center mass. You aim to stop the threat. And if that's 2 bullets or 10 bullets, whatever it takes to stop the threat. But when you start trying to, especially when you're jacked up like that and you're running, you're doing all that, you're not gonna aim and shoot somebody. And Steve could attest for the fact that one of his shootings, he got called in and asked because Steve did shoot the guy because you gave him a second chance. You shot, remember, you got called in on that. You shot the guy with a .41 Magnum right in the lower part of his body and basically gave the guy, look, and the
41 or 41 and a half?
41 mag.
Yeah.
All right. So hey, I think I saw Eastside Tony drive by on that one. Was that Tony? Was that you? Did drive by that one? I don't know. Tony knew all the streets. He knew all the streets.
Yeah,
all right.
Joe McNamara called me in his
William.
Okay. All right. Listen, we got one more story. This is for Steve. This is kind of more of a showing you some of the good work that people from Mexico helping out. Mexican search and rescue team aids in Texas flood recovery. The video reports on the assistance of an international search and rescue crew. International search and rescue crew from Acuna, Mexico, in central Texas, following a devastating flood. All right. So this Mexican team did a lot of good work, Steve, correct?
Yeah, actually, there's multiple teams came from Ciudad Acuña, from Nuevo Laredo, and from Mexico City to help in the search for.
I said Acuna.
Yeah, of flood victims, and actually one team actually saved the sheriff of Kerr County, saved his family who were stuck in an RV in the floodwaters, and they actually saved their lives.
Let's watch it.
We met up with a group earlier today. These are international search and rescue crew members from the city of Acuña, Ciudad Acuña, on the Mexican side of the border, just across the river, across the Rio Grande from Del Rio. They were brought up here to try and help out as well. And we caught up with them earlier today when they were able to find a body. They found a missing person earlier today during their first mission out this morning. Have a look. Near Ingram, the painstaking work continues in this specific area where 2 bodies were found underneath all of this rubble overnight and into the morning hours on Monday. It was here in this same spot that we caught up with a group of Mexican search and rescue professionals from Ciudad Acuña as they returned from their first morning mission where they recovered a body. I understand that you all found a body out there. Tell me about that.
That's a Texas reporter,
Jose Omar Llanes Hernandez says while searching, crews found a victim underneath 3 feet of debris. He saes the victim appeared to be a man. So Niels, what's it like to collaborate with American teams in this search effort? He explains they're proud to be able to help with rescues in any country that calls on them. These rushing waters that we've seen around here all weekend long is exactly what this search and rescue team is familiar with since they work and they train along the Rio Grande. Jesus Gomez is a dual citizen from Acuña who also answered the call for help.
Because we still have a lot of current from the water, from the river, so we have to cross using some water rescue techniques to cross safely and start doing some searching and all the debris.
Wow, Steve, it reminds me of when the fires happened in California earlier this year.
Correct. Yes, and these teams have not only responded to disasters like the Hurricane Katrina, they've also responded to the earthquake in Turkey. Actually, one of their dogs was killed searching for victims in Turkey, and the government of Turkey actually bought another replacement dog, a puppy, and sent it to him.
Wow. So I have a question about that. I saw a video and I was going to research to find out if it was real, but that dork, what's their governor, Abbott or whatever, the guy, the pretend Christian, he apparently said that when these guys crossed over, you cannot, even for no reason, you can't just come here unless if you're not a citizen. And they said, the reporter said that they actually handcuffed a couple of these guys, and I was wondering if you saw that and if that was really true.
I haven't seen it, but I wasn't looking for it. I'll do some research and see if I can find it.
We got to be careful too, because I remember the footage we talked about during the LA riots last month. I said that's recent. I thought it was recent. We had information that it wasn't. Then I confirmed it was recent footage from those riots. So we got to be careful. Some of the videos being repurposed, but in that case, I confirmed through my own CHP sources that was current footage of the police cars being pelted during that incident a couple months ago. Again, in an area, very small, couple block area of LA. It wasn't all of LA. It was this world. I've been down to several LA riots before in my career, and they all happened in that little downtown area. It wasn't the whole city, like when George Floyd protests were going on and stuff like that. These were very contained. LA was fine, but a lot of misinformation going around. And that sounds horrible. And if it's true, I'd like to see some video of that. If there is any.
Yeah, if I had known we were doing that video, I would have definitely had.
We'll research it for the next podcast.
Well, I think and again, we're going to end on that one. We got a few things. Again, if you want to reach out to us, please do it on Scott's Instagram, which is Fugitive Watch, and go ahead and message us. We appreciate the feedback from Tony and Kelly and Greg and Frank and Portia, Portia, is that how you say it?
Portia Jones, yes.
Yeah, Portia, yeah, and appreciate everybody. Appreciate all the feedback, and let us know. Again, if you remember our question, would you like us showing the? Do you like us reviewing the 911 footage? The body cam footage, because there's a lot of that now. It's all being published. A great thing transparency has done, where now through the Freedom of Information Acts, after an incident is closed, you can order the body camera footage, and then we all get to watch it. And this really shows what police officers go through these type of decisions. Some are going to be good, some are going to be bad. And now as citizens, we can all watch this and review it and and better than maybe an edited version. And they do their best to block out certain things, but we can see what the stress that it is to be a police officer these days, and a lot to go out there.
I want to clarify. I want to clarify something real quick. I did just look it up in Snoops, and apparently it was a video that was going around, and it was AI generated of them saying that they arrested him. So I guess I'm not saying that Abbott guy's still not an idiot, but I'm saying he didn't. Apparently that didn't happen.
All right. That's the stuff we got to, and I appreciate that. That's the stuff we got to look forward to or look out for. I might be forward of a video, seeing some AI videos of Abbott though. Hey, again, and then what's the other one I want to show you guys? So reach out to Scott at fugitive.com. And remember, you could find me at Stolen 911. Just Google it. And I've got some cool cases going on there. Real quick, I know you guys are familiar with this. I got this case in Baltimore where this lady reached out to me regarding her jewelry, Indian jewelry stolen, $40,000 worth of jewelry here. And, I did a Reddit post. I got something like 50,000 views on Reddit on this case alone through the Indian Asian community. There's a lot of people with different cultures. They tend to, there's some in the Indian families, some of them, they tend to store their jewelry at home. A lot of them. I'm not saying there's other people that do it too, but they get targeted because they know a lot of people aren't using safes, aren't using safety deposit boxes. And these thieves target these families going in there, and they're finding these bedrooms with $40,000 worth of jewelry in those bedrooms, gold and stuff like that. That stuff's very unlikely to get recovered. I know you guys have all dealt with this in San Jose. I've worked stolen 911 cases similar in San Jose, and I took some in Cupertino too, and I did some down in Calabasas, where people know they target, they stereotype people, knowing who's going to be the good chance is going to be storing jewelry at home like that, or large quantity. You guys experienced this before?
Oh yeah. Back in the day, remember we used to have a lot of home invasions, and
San Jose PD is the one who invented the name home invasion for those robberies, those type of robberies. Because they all started with in the Vietnamese community.
Yeah,
I have another case of a stolen Lamborghini, and this I talk about it on my live stream. I do a live stream on Stolen 911, usually at 6 p.m. if I do it. But this is a case where these guys were picking up escorts in this Lamborghini they were borrowing or renting or whatever, and they were probably set up by the escorts. And these other dudes showed up, took them over with gunpoint, and probably had some sort of jamming device in the bag. And that jamming device will disable all cellular communication of that vehicle. The guy had dash cams on there that transmit, 3 GPS systems, and air tags. All of them went dead because of what was being carried in this bag. That's what we're thinking.
Wow.
So you really got to think about all these cellular-based systems now, including your door cameras that can't be jammed now with these jammers. And I talk about it at Stolen 911. If you look at the website, you see this post. I did a little live stream on it, and I got more like that coming out. And sometimes you'll see Scott and Steve on there talking about these cases with me. Yeah. So there's that. So I'm at Stolen 911. Go ahead and Google that. And again, I just want to say that I got to share this tab here. Everybody you see here is guilty.
No, Mark. No.
What?
We want to remind all of our viewers that any stories, any people featured on any of our platforms are to be considered innocent unless proven guilty in a court of law. And also, the fugitives may be considered by law enforcement to be extremely dangerous. Do not make any attempt to arrest, apprehend, or detain them. If you recognize any of the fugitives, give us a tip at tips@fugitive.com. Email us a tip at tips@fugitive.com. tips@fugitive.com.
All right.
You forgot to plug the Facebook page too. We do a lot of stuff on there. Steve does a lot.
Oh, nothing but old people on Facebook, man. Come on.
Well, there's still
MySpace now.
There's like 300
MySpace. Yeah, there you go.
There's like 360,000 people still on our Facebook page.
But Facebook only shows it to 10.
Yeah, I know. They throttle it back.
They want the
money.
When's Fugitive Watch going to do Snapchat? Come on. View where the kids are at.
WhatsApp.
Yeah.
WhatsApp. Yeah. Okay. All right, guys. Appreciate it. Tony, thank you, sir. Greg, everyone else. Kelly, good to see you. Frank, thanks for everything. Helping Scott out. We appreciate everything. And We'll see you guys next week. Okay. And check out Stolen 911. If I do it, follow me on YouTube at Stolen 911. I appreciate it, guys. Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you, everyone.